Roblox has faced scandals before, but this time it's different. When YouTube's biggest lawyer, Law by Mike, steps in and publicly calls out David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, you know the situation is past the point of saving. Because let's face it, this isn't some random YouTuber complaining about moderation, or a salty parent blaming Roblox for their kids spending too much money. This is a lawyer, someone with credibility, tearing apart Roblox's hypocrisy and failures, and putting the blame squarely on the man at the top. And what makes this so controversial is that Mike didn't just highlight random issues. He exposed the very core problem of Roblox: greed over safety, PR over people, and leadership that hides instead of taking responsibility. Law by Mike hammered the most glaring issue: Roblox is targeting the wrong people. Creators like Schlepp, who were actually helping by exposing predators, get banned. Meanwhile, the predators themselves, those using Roblox to groom and exploit kids, continue slipping through cracks in the moderation system. This isn't an accident. This is a broken system being run by someone who has either lost touch with reality or simply doesn't care. And at the top of that system is David Baszucki. This double standard isn't small. It's the heart of why Roblox is losing the trust of its own community. Imagine being a parent who finds out the guy exposing predators got silenced while the predators still roam free. That's not safety. That's negligence. And when Law by Mike highlighted it, he forced people to confront an ugly truth. Roblox's biggest enemy isn't predators. It's its own leadership protecting image over children. That's what makes Baszucki look like a CEO more interested in optics than outcomes. The real kicker? Roblox is a billion-dollar corporation. They have the money to fix this. They have the resources to build better moderation, create stronger protections, and empower whistleblowers. But instead, they spend their time banning the very people proving how broken the system is. That's not just failure, it's betrayal. And it's David Baszucki's failure. If you've noticed, every time Roblox faces a controversy, it's never David Baszucki stepping forward to explain, apologize, or lead. It's always faceless PR statements, generic "we care about safety" lines, or vague corporate excuses. Where is the CEO when the platform he built is being dragged through the mud? Hiding. And that's exactly what Law by Mike exposed without even saying it directly. The silence of leadership is the loudest proof of guilt. A real leader stands up during crises. A real leader takes questions, faces the fire, and proves that they're accountable. Baszucki doesn't. He's never been there when the community needed answers. When Schlepp was banned, silence. When lawsuits mounted over child safety, silence. When parents demanded accountability, silence. And now, when a YouTube lawyer is exposing him to millions of viewers, guess what? Silence again. This isn't just cowardice, it's strategy. By staying silent, Baszucki keeps plausible deniability. He hides behind PR teams and lets them take the blows, while he stays in the shadows collecting checks. But here's the problem. The silence itself is damning. Because when the leader refuses to lead, it tells everyone one thing: they don't care. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Roblox under David Baszucki is not a company built on safety or community. It's a casino for children disguised as a game platform. Law by Mike didn't have to stretch to prove this. The evidence is everywhere. Roblox's #1 priority is not creating a safe environment, but maximizing profit. And the sad reality is that when your entire platform is fueled by kids, millions of them under 13, every corporate decision has life or death consequences for trust. Yet Baszucki continues to prioritize revenue streams over real solutions. Think about the way Roblox monetizes. Kids are pressured to spend real money on Robux, only to be funneled into pay-to-win mechanics or limited items. But here's the kicker. Those same kids are exposed to environments filled with predators, inappropriate content, and scams, all because Roblox would rather rake in cash from developers than enforce strong protections. It's a trade-off, plain and simple. Protect the bottom line, not the players. This is why whistleblowers like Schlepp were so dangerous to Roblox's leadership. They exposed how predators were slipping through cracks, how moderation wasn't working, and how Roblox's priorities were upside down. Instead of thanking them, the company banned them. Because for Baszucki, the only unforgivable crime isn't harming kids, it's harming the brand. And that's where the rot begins. The CEO himself. Let's compare Roblox to other platforms. YouTube, despite all its controversies, at least has systems of accountability. Parents can see watch histories, YouTubers face demonetization, and lawsuits have forced transparency. Roblox? It's the Wild West. The game is both the platform and the social network, but with no strong safety guardrails, no real accountability, and no genuine leadership. And at the top of that lawless empire is Baszucki, collecting his millions while kids get exploited under his watch. If Roblox wanted to, they could revolutionize online safety. They could be the gold standard for child protection, but they don't. Because in the twisted hierarchy of priorities inside Baszucki's Roblox, dollars come before decency. You want proof that the community has lost faith in David Baszucki? Look no further than the petition, over 100,000 signatures demanding his removal. That isn't some fringe group of haters. That's a tidal wave of voices saying loud and clear, "We don't trust you anymore." And when a CEO of a billion-dollar company loses the faith of both players and parents, it's game over. Now, Baszucki might shrug off 100,000 signatures as just the internet being dramatic. But that's where he miscalculates. A petition isn't just about numbers. It's about symbolism. It's about momentum. And once the ball starts rolling, it doesn't stop. Those 100,000 voices become tweets, TikToks, YouTube videos, and eventually, headlines. That's how you turn a community's anger into a public relations nightmare. Here's the real danger for Baszucki. Investors don't care about his feelings. They care about perception. They care about how safe the Roblox brand looks to regulators and advertisers. And when a petition that size starts trending, it chips away at investor confidence. Parents hesitate to let their kids play. Regulators start sniffing around for hearings and lawsuits. Advertisers second-guess putting their brand next to Roblox. The ripple effects are massive. And the best part? This isn't coming from competitors or politicians. It's coming from the community itself. The people who built Roblox up are the same people trying to tear its CEO down. That's not a PR crisis. That's an existential threat. Let's not forget, history is full of CEOs who thought they were untouchable until the people turned. Look at Travis Kalanick at Uber. Look at Adam Neumann at WeWork. Both ran billion-dollar companies. Both thought they were safe, and both were ousted when controversy made them liabilities. David Baszucki is walking the same path. If Law by Mike's video was the spark, the petition is the wildfire. And the longer Baszucki ignores it, the bigger it grows. Here's the blunt truth. Roblox doesn't have a PR problem. It doesn't have a moderation problem. It doesn't even have a predator problem as much as it has a leadership problem. And that leadership problem has a name. David Baszucki. The man who created Roblox has become its biggest liability. Every scandal, whether it's predators, banned whistleblowers, or lawsuits, ties back to his failure to lead. And the reason this roast hits so hard is because Baszucki doesn't even try to defend himself. He hides behind corporate statements while his platform burns. What Law by Mike did was peel back the curtain and show everyone what the community already suspected. The fish rots from the head. Roblox's failures aren't accidents. They're patterns. Patterns of silence, patterns of greed, patterns of throwing whistleblowers under the bus instead of fixing the root issue. And every single one of those patterns leads back to Baszucki. So let's roast him properly. This is the guy who wants to be remembered as a tech visionary, but will go down in history as the CEO who let predators thrive on a children's game. The guy who built Roblox into an empire but became the emperor with no clothes. The guy who chose silence, greed, and image over accountability, safety, and community. At some point, the joke writes itself. David Baszucki is the builderman who can't build trust, the visionary who can't see the rot in his own company, and the leader who never leads. And if he stays in power, Roblox won't just lose credibility, it'll lose everything. Because no empire survives when its own emperor becomes the punchline.